Okay.
You know, one of the things that impressed me about Tank yesterday, watching him go through the media workout, is the poise, the maturity, just in his face, he just seems more clear. What has been the biggest source of maturation for him? What has it been like this camp that's been different from other camps? Because he seems wholly at peace.
Well, what I'm noticing, me and Barry haven't been talking in a while, and then he got us two talking. It was something that he did, because I got other fighters, and they was making moves and stuff. And just to see us two, like we were in the amateurs, putting two heads together, he enjoys that. And I see him in his face that he's smiling and happy because it's like he's bringing all that he's been making his journey with together, to make sense out of everything.
How do you feel about this journey? Because you're tasked with two things: keeping him focused in camp. Opponent falls out, still keeping his mind.
It's not the first time
engaged.
opponent fell out because Avon Moss was supposed to fight him before, and opponent fell out in Baltimore, and he did pretty good. But this opponent came past my desk from the beginning, and there was no need for me to fight him because it was the point that we needed an opponent that was going to help sell the fight too. And it was always Tank is the one promoting and doing everything. Once Brody was doing this thing, if you remember the press conference, I said, I like you. You know what I'm saying? Because he was really taking the focus off of Tank and putting it on him. As you see, it's always the focus on Tank. Give him a chance, to breathe a little bit. Now we back in the same situation that we have to put the work in to make the people come out to really watch this fight. But this guy here he have a lot of things that he want to prove to the world. Dangerous.
I look at these young fighters, particularly in this weight division. They seem to be making the most noise. I agree with Floyd. This is a very exciting weight division. And when people get to that top, start approaching, they either embrace it, or they start to fold, or they start to have some breakdowns. I look at Ryan Garcia, I look at Teofimo, and I look at Tank. And early in his career, it seemed as if they expected Tank to crumble under the pressure, but it hasn't been that case like his contemporaries. What do you think is the difference?
The crowd. That's the difference. He's embracing. He embraced the crowd. The more crowd he get, the better he's gonna get. It's been like this since he was little. He was selling out shows when he was an amateur. So it's nothing new to me with him. He just liked that energy.
What is Tank the man like when he's outside? He's a father now.
Well, right now there's three components that we always been working on. I'm working on the business side. That's the Davis now. He got the Gervonta down. He got two kids, spending time with him, working that situation out. Then it's Tank, the fighter. Now I'm waiting on the Davis now, the business side of it.
What is the biggest difference you think between Tank in his first pro fight and Tank today?
He used to say anything. Now he's talking a little bit. He's really like Leonard was talking about an interview that he did, and him saying things I didn't really know. He felt like that, because interviews are more in depth, more truthful than just watching the fight and whatnot of a person. When you listen to a person doing an interview and they really opening up and the person asking the right questions, you really get the truth out of it.
What is something that we continue to ask, we being the media, continue to ask that you wish we would stop asking?
Well, y'all always going to ask for the plans. We ain't going to give y'all the
Right.
blueprint. They mental. Certain things we not going to give to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's war. Two generals are not going to give up the actual details of what we're going to do. Like when they see Barry in the corner, they see me. We always been together, but we've been distant, And it's amazing what Tank did. He took two of the hottest East Coast coaches and put them together, back together. And I seen it, and I said, you knew what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's been not friction, but just learning each other again. And then when me and Barry got down and just sit down and hash everything out, we started laughing about the Hamilton days. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where the real DNA come from when they first started. Everybody think they just get good when they turn pro. No, it starts when you was young. And the guidance that you've been put through, the getting up every day running. I tell them, I said, none of that's going to change. The only thing going to change is the headgear coming off and you getting paid. First you had the headgear on and just getting the trophy. But you still got to keep that same hunger.
You guys are good at keeping the camp tight because the distance, is not part of the narrative of the fight like we see with so many other teams. What have you guys figured out amongst yourselves that you've been able to keep this private and put it back together without all the outside noise that other camps say go through?
Like Tank said on the stage, each one of us came from different backgrounds. I'm basically the streets, and I don't let everybody in my business. Social media, but I do post a lot what I want them to see. Each one of us has got our own style of doing things, and we try not to step on each other's toes, but we understand we have a job to do. The main goal, we want to make sure we be successful in what we're doing with him. So we have other athletes that's coming up behind us. We have the blueprint. And Tank got the best team in the town. I mean, in the world. Tell you the truth, you got Al Ford, you have us. You can't get no better than that. We've been doing this since the amateurs.
I asked him yesterday at Wild Card, what were those first days like after Rolly fell out and Isaac was in? He mentioned that it was a name they were considering.
Yeah.
I asked him where did he re-begin to now train for a different opponent? Does it begin with going directly back to the gym, or does it begin with watching film? How did you guys bridge that gap in between the opponents? Because they're very different styles.
If you watch All Access, we point on it. We point on it a little bit. If you watch Tank, he was on the phone waiting on the name, so he could redirect that energy on who's that person. And then the difference is, normally when we talk about the fight don't really begin until you stand off and do that first face-off. They didn't do that. They had to do it virtually, with the interviews and stuff. So it wasn't really there and whatnot. But Brian was in his ear the first part of the camp to bring him back around with certain things. Then when I came, I'm looking at Cruz, his family, his desire. That's the real fight. You know what I'm saying? He's willing to do anything for his family. So it's a different type of fight now.
And lastly, what are you most proud of with your young man here, Gervonta Davis?
Just growing to be his own self, because they don't give us young black men manuals of being a man. Each one of us come up with different backgrounds. Some of us have men in our life, some of us don't. Where we come from in Baltimore, all the OGs is not in the youngest life. You know what I'm saying? So I can walk down the street, they say they go coach. I could actually talk to them because I came from both sides of the world. For me, being in the streets and making it to this level, it's like, dad, coach flipped it. So then when I'm talking to them, they can understand it. So if I'm trying to get a person on the right track, they can see that it can be done, because I was one of them kids too.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Best of luck this weekend.